What up, crypto lovers and enthusiasts? Just spreading the good word. Today, red day for Bitcoin. What was the reason? GBTC is the reason. Let's take a look at that. We'll take a look at the charts. We're going to take a look at some interesting altcoins. Nakamoto games finally starting to move up. We'll give you an idea of where it could go. Veracity, VRA, hit a penny today. Very nice. Orai is moving up. AI play. AI is going to be a huge narrative. And we're also going to take a look at two cryptos that I didn't have too much conviction on, but they're starting to move. So we're going to take a look at those charts, and it's not bad to have cryptos. I want to show these because it's not bad to have some cryptos that you could be like, it's possible, you know, and later on they could pleasantly surprise you. And we're going to take a look at the message from the Trias team. All right, so it should be high packed with a lot of good information. And so without further ado, let's do this. Take a look at GBTC. Going into my Twitter, taking a look at HODL 15 Capital. This guy's just a treasure trove of ETF information. It's amazing. This guy definitely deserves to follow, as many follows as possible. So this is GBTC outflows by day since January 11th, February 29th. Today, look at this big red number. Okay, pretty much as low as it's been. I mean, 22nd was 642 million. Okay, outflows. All right, in dollar terms. And this one's yeah, pretty much January 22nd was the worst day than this one. All right, and this is the first time it's been like that for a while, right? As you can see. So it is what it is. Hey, like I like to say, ebbs and flows. And today, wouldn't you know? Well, we're in another candle, but on the 29th, this is the candle of the first. All right, as you can see right here. But on the 29th, it was a red day, but only that. That's fine. Maybe it's just taking a breather after it doing all of this, surprising the hell out of probably everybody, right? Of how powerful this move was. These last 3 days, right? On the 26th, 27th, and 28th. Now, Bitcoin is a big boy. Okay, it's got a huge market cap. Bitcoin, for it to move like that, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of money, and there's a lot of money coming into this space, guys. So I mean, right here, this is bullish. Are we gonna try to make it to really the all-time high right here, 69,000? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna bet yes. All right. Now, when we hit that, what's gonna happen? Are we gonna hit it now, soon, or it's gonna be before the halving? I'm gonna say we're gonna probably make an attempt before the halving, just based on the information. All of, like, even this on this feed right here on TradingView, down here to the bottom right where my face is, there's just news. Okay, there's news, and it's all. I read this stuff all the time. I look at it, and it's all just extremely bullish. And maybe it's rightly so, man. These ETFs are bringing a lot of attention, rich people's attention, institutions' attention to Bitcoin. All right, they're wanting to get in. I just saw that some banks are now wanting to get into offer Bitcoin ETFs to the customer. One of them was Bank of America, and another one was, I forget which one. All right, so I mean, pretty interesting stuff coming up, guys. So I mean, I just have a tough time saying that this is it, right? And then now we're gonna have a drawdown. Drawdown's going to come eventually, but I just don't think right now. Maybe today on the 1st, right, on March, we're going to have a green day, or maybe we start consolidating right here before the next push up, because this took a lot. Bitcoin needs to take a break for a little bit, or maybe a couple of days, and then attempt to go back up. All right, we'll see. We'll see how the rest of this week is. We'll see how next week is as well. You know, I've got to take things day by day. Every week is slightly different because investor appetite is slightly different from week to week. All right, we can't have all strong weeks, right? That doesn't make sense. There are going to be some slow weeks, you know, for the sales team and these. But there's a sales team, and they're selling the hell out of it, obviously, because it's wildly successful, and that's bringing a lot of attention, not just through the ETFs, but people that are seeing about this in the news. You know, like, oh, Bitcoin is at like $61,000 now. Holy crap! Let me look into it. Let me start buying. I don't want to buy the ETFs. I'm smart enough to get my own, to do my own thing and buy. People are going to start coming in that way, guys. There's FOMO has yet to hit. Retail is not even in yet, guys. Okay, so I mean, that's another thing. It's things are looking really, really good, guys. Really, really good. My bias is, as I've been mentioning, towards the upside. Let's see what happens here. But I think maybe, you know, once these sales are over, and the effect from GBTC becomes less and less, things will probably start pumping up a little more. And even now with GBTC doing what it does, you know, and other outside forces selling too, I mean, there's just a lot of demand from these ETFs, man, and that's not going to stop. Again, ebbs and flows. There's going to be weeks where there's less, but there's going to be weeks where there's more. All right, and it hasn't hit a peak yet. All right, we are far from it, guys. Okay, far from it. Another thing of interesting of note, the U.S. government transferred 922 million worth of Bitcoin from 2 cryptocurrency wallets that held funds seized from Bitfinex in 2016. All right, and it just talks about the seizure. Apparently, this guy Liechtenstein stole and laundered over $4.5 million worth of Bitcoin from the Bitfinex exchange, and they was telling the I guess a Washington court about it. The world's largest Bitcoin heist. Pretty cool. I guess they're making a movie about it too. But anyway, so that could, who knows why the government is doing that. They're gonna sell it. I think I saw the headline said that they sold it, but I don't know if that's confirmed or not. Maybe they sold it, or maybe they just moved it to the wallets and they're gonna sell it. Who knows? But that's going to cause some pressure, downward pressure to the price of Bitcoin if they sell it today, tomorrow, if they already sold it. If they already sold it and that was it, then, you know, maybe tomorrow, the 1st, is going to be a green day. Who knows? Time will tell. Time will tell. Tomorrow, we'll see what tomorrow looks like. But hopefully, I just don't see us coming back down. I don't see us peaking out here. All right. I mean, don't get crazy and start shorting this market. I would just... You know what I like to do? If you don't, I'm gonna tell you. I just like to do the low caps, buy and hold, and wait until Bitcoin goes higher and higher and higher, and brings the altcoins with them. All right, or her, whatever you want to call Bitcoin, he, she, whatever. All right, so that's interesting, and that could be the reason why we had a red day on the 29th. But there are many reasons. Okay, but still, no biggie. If we consolidate now here, cool. If tomorrow we go up a little higher, excellent. It is what it is. Everything for me happens after the Bitcoin halving, and red days are by the dip territory. All right. I don't know if I should say that or not, but yes, it definitely is. Definitely is. What did I buy today? I think I did make a couple of buys. I don't recall, so I can't comment on it. I don't recall this morning if I did make buys or not. I think I did. But I don't recall, unfortunately. So I think I did only bought STBU, Stobox. All right, so let's take a look at some of these altcoin charts. All right, Nakamoto Games is looking strong. All right, a lot of people were kind of just bored once this happened. Right, once this happened. Well, it is what it is. I mean, this was kind of fun from the February 4th through the 17th, 18th. Nakamoto Games moved up pretty well, right? Retraced, got out of this. So I don't know. I don't know why people would still be bored. And now, the interesting thing is, since December of 2023, we haven't been able to get over this line. We only touched it a few times then. Again, February 18th, 19th. And finally, on the 29th, we are able to break on through to that other side. Q Jim Morrison in the doors. And interestingly, Nakamoto Games is one of those that today I was looking at how long these pumps are, because I really am trying to kind of game plan my DCA strategy out. Okay, I wanna, when I see pumps, I want to wait. But I'm seeing, you know, at least 10 days, 12, 13, 14, 15 days before I start selling. Some of these things take up to 2 months before they start peaking out. So there is some time. And Nakamoto Games is one that took a very long time. More than months, like a couple hundred days for it to start making moves. So I mean, that's interesting, and I think that helps knowing a little bit how these things like to move, because they do have their own characteristics, and it's good to kind of get an idea, you know, of how long was this pump right here, for example. So I was just doing that and seeing. So let's do that one from September 1st, more or less. I think this pump started to, and I went a little bit over when it starts kind of consolidating, moving sideways a little bit before it starts dropping down more. This one was 99 days, all right, 99 days. But if you look at Nakamoto Games, how long has it been pumping? From here, since here, let's say from here. We'll say it stopped around here before it started consolidating. But I mean, really, it's still going, right? But this was 361 days. I mean, a whole year, you know, a whole year. If you would have caught down here, you'd have to be patient for a whole year and be like, all right, let me start selling now. But even then, this one looks like it's going to keep on going, especially right now, right? Definitely. Where to? I think once it breaks this, We are heading up towards $12 and up and away. All right, so that's interesting. Nakamoto Games finally breaking out of this kind of area right here that it's been in, this triangle, and then it just kind of consolidated once it got out of this triangle, and then now it finally broke this area. So there's some room for it to run. $2.26. That $2 mark was a tough one to break. It took all this to do it, basically, guys. Boom. Now it's doing it. Once it does that, then, you know, it's gonna move up. It's gonna move up strong. All right. So that's Nakamoto Games. And I'm not saying right now to pick it up or anything like that. You know, you always wait for red days. You wait for days like this. Can you see this? Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of good DCAing on red days like that? That's when you do it. All right, but still, it's good to know as much as you can about good projects. Okay, next one, Veracity. Right here, beautiful. Since February 6th. How long has this pump been? Since February 6th, basically. So far, it's been 25 days, and so far it's been nothing. But I mean, it's moved up 90% from this area. Okay, so I mean, that's pretty good, right? We got rejected pretty strongly at a penny, although we tried to get over it, we didn't. But we are right here knocking at the door. We haven't dropped too low, too much below it. Notice how right now this body is like right at this ascending line. Can you see that? It's ascending line. Interesting. All right. I mean, who knows, tomorrow it could drop low, it could keep going low, but right now that's interesting. That's good to see. Hopefully we can find support here or try to hit it again a couple times and maybe just kind of stay within this triangle before we finally break through. Again, QJ Morrison and the doors break on through to the other side. Or AI. All right, starting to move really strongly up. And you just got to be patient. How long has this pump been? Well, this most recent little pump right here, basically, right? It's from this consolidation zone. How long has this little mini pump been? From here. 17 days. Okay, so we got to be patient. I mean, right now it's not even a good time to take profits, but I mean, honestly, any time is good if you need it, right? There's nothing wrong in taking profits. Don't let anyone shame you into taking profits. If you need it, you do what you got to do, right? But I mean, if you can afford to be patient, all right, get an idea of how long these pumps last for these projects. You know, some of them are quick, some of them are 9, 15, 16, 17 days. You know, they are usually double-digit days, and some of them are long, like Naka we just saw for a year, all right? Let's see, Orai. Let's see how long this pump's been, right? Since right here, since September 23. I'm sorry, September 12th. 374%, 171 days it's been moving up. All right, 171 days it's been moving up. Boom, 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 boom. So you got to be patient. All right, I got in here $2.43, and I mean, there's still a long ways to go. I'm not even looking at it yet. All right, got to be patient. Here's another thing right here that I wanted to show you about Orai. Does this look like an inverse triangle? I mean, inverse head and shoulders. It does to me. This is more or less the neckline right here. That would hit around $50 and $50. I mean, so this thing at $13 right now could be positioning itself or making its way up to $50 in the not too distant future, probably this year, based on what it looks like here. This is in fact inverse head and shoulder, and the pattern plays out about $50, guys. Just food for thought. And here are two cases of two cryptos that I have put money in, right? I have put money in. I've known about it for a while. No, not CTI. Yeah, CTI. I want to say I made money previously to CTI too. Not a whole lot, but then I sold. I was up. I think I was up on this pump, and then I sold my initial out, and then I've just had a little bit of capital in it, and it's about 2 cents, right? Where it is right here, right? So that's like my average buy price for the bag that I have now, and it's up at 4 cents. Now, it's not a huge conviction for me. It's not a huge conviction, but it's one of those where I was looking at it, I'm like, it looks pretty good. Let me put some money in it, you know? But it's not one of those where I'm like, yeah, let me continuously put money in it, like Trias, for example, or Rio or something like that. Like a high conviction play for me, you know? But different strokes for different folks. It doesn't mean that just because I'm not hugely convinced on it, I am convinced enough to put money in it, you know, doesn't mean that this thing can just fly, you know, keep going and give me 100x, because you never know. I mean, that's why I put money in. I'm hoping that it can give me 100x, but just compare to this one or Trias gun to my head, I'm choosing Trias, you understand? But that doesn't mean that this one is any less valuable in a sense, because in the end, we really don't know which ones are going to do 100x, right? So I'm spreading my chips out, and I put the chips on this one. This is an example of one, even though it's not a huge conviction play for me. It's finally starting to perform well. All right, so you got to believe in the reasons why you picked a token. All right, you got to believe in yourself, and eventually, hopefully, it proves you to be correct. All right, even the ones that you don't have too much of a high conviction on, give it some patience. It's still early. You got to let these profits run. All right, and that's what I'm getting to myself right now, letting them run, and then slowly after 15, 20, 30 days, depending on the project, knowing how long they usually like to pump for, you start taking your profits out slowly, day after day. All right, in small amounts, small increments. All right. Okay, so that's CleanTech CTI, one example, and another example that not a high conviction play, but it has started to move up, and now I'm in profits. Right, I'm up over 100% right now. What is it from where I buy? 2 cents. Yeah, 98%. Not bad at all. I think it's going to continue to pump, right? This thing, I'm just going to let it do its thing. And I thought about selling right here, but I didn't, because I learned my lessons. All right. Finally, after a long time. I didn't always learn my lessons, but now I do, especially in crypto, right? Because crypto, like in boxing, mistakes could be very costly. They could hurt. All right. CleanTech CTI. So that's one. And now the other one is BST. Right here, Blocksquare. Now, I wanted to have a lot of exposure to real-world assets because I think they're going to do really well. And BST is one that I'm glad I'm in now. I knew about it, and I knew it when it was doing all this stuff. I had bought a little bit, I think, right around here. And then I did this stuff and had the opportunity to buy, but I just didn't because I wasn't attracted to it. Okay, I mean, what can I say? But hey, it doesn't mean it's not a good project. It's not a good project. These guys have like $80 million in assets under management, like or tokenized assets that they've done. So they have a portfolio across a bunch of countries. I mean, they're a legit company. And so, watching all this, there's still opportunity. Even this, look how long this lasted for. How long did this last for? Let's just do a quick little math. From September 2023, how long was that pump for? And it wasn't a huge pump. It was 240%, but it more or less, right? 86 days you'd give yourself. 86 days, and you probably want to start taking profits somewhere in the 80 day range, somewhere around there if you could, right? Then long consolidation, and I did start buying some here, because I'm like, I had capital and I wanted to put it on some other stuff. I was happy with everything else. I'm like, let me. My average was a little higher, I think. Maybe I bought around, I don't know, not much higher, because I think I started buying again around here somewhere. But then I did buy to lower my average right around here, and then I was like, that's it, because I don't have, again, high conviction. But look, something that doesn't have high conviction, I still believed in it enough, and now I'm kind of coming around to it, but it's finally started to move after all this. How long was this consolidation? Let's just say from here, 71 days. All right, you have to be patient. 71 days, and finally broke through. How long has this run up been? 25 days. 25 days. Got to be patient, guys. Got to be patient. Let your runners, let these things run. Start getting an idea of how long it's taking them to do that. Get an idea of how long they consolidate for. Look for signs where they're starting to top out. This one looks like it tops out a lot of times. So I mean, you got to know that now if you want to get into Blocksquare. All right, start looking at these charts. It's important, man. It's important. If you want to really make life-changing gains, you got to put in the work. And it's not a whole hell of a lot of work, to be honest with you, man. My parents work a lot harder than what I do. Than looking at this stuff, man. My parents work hours and hours and hours, and it's crazy. So I mean, hey, put in a little bit of work. Come on, just to learn the profile of this, get to know the token, get to know its movements. Come on. For making life-changing gains here, right? So hey, anyway, so another example of one that isn't a huge high conviction, but hey, it's now starting to perform. I'm not up much on it. What am I up on this? 51. But if this thing does an 80x, 60, 70, 80x, Hell yeah, I'll take that all day. That's good money for me. Okay, so those are some good examples that of cryptos. They look good, and you just never know. They might not be the highest conviction, but it's not bad to throw a little bit of money into some cryptos that look good, because you just never know, especially in the low cap games. All right, cool. Now let's look at Trias real quick, and then we're done. All right. Trias. After this thing is gonna go. How long was this little pump for? Let's take a look. Might as well. We'll start from here. 42 days. So I mean, that was the pumps. The pumps are quick. 42 days, and then some consolidation. I could say at 43 days, right? But then the consolidations are very long, right? Say right here, once it's kind of popped, stop moving up slowly. Right here. How long was this? $169 days. People are like, I freaking hate this project. And then all of a sudden I did this. Boom. People are like, I love this project. How long was this again? 100 something days. And the payoff, right, of waiting lasted only 27 days. More or less, 27 days. All right. So within that span, you could have some time to just take profits after 20 something days, you know. So next time it pumps up, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna. I think I have high hopes for this one. You know, you can bet it's gonna happen over, you know, a few weeks, less than a few weeks, right? And then it's gonna consolidate for a while. That's how it seems that it's doing. All right, so that's interesting. That's good to know, right? If you're interested in taking profits in the next leg. I'm not. I'm up pretty good, except for this right here. This is a small little bag that I have, just like a little short-term hodl bag, just to ride up this next leg. And so while it's been boring, right? My point of showing you Trias is, I mean, aside from the fact that I think it's going to go up eventually, people are like, oh, getting boring. But hey, just hold up a little bit longer, because good things are just around the corner. And here's what I wanted to share with you from the Trias team. All right, this is a Telegram. Friends, trust that we are working hard behind the scenes. We have been very busy, which is why we have not had time to spend with you all. March is a very big month for us. We have a lot of exciting announcements coming up. We're doing our best to get things moving as fast as possible, and you'll see substantial news on a regular basis. We ask you to be patient as we make it happen. It's good that not every team does that. Not every team does that, and not every team is as stacked as Trias as far as like everything they have going for them, guys. All the connections that they have. Really good projects. Just because it's boring right now and other projects are moving doesn't mean anything. Eventually, after a long consolidation, which is perfect because you can slowly grind in, you can slowly buy in, you know, after a long consolidation, it's gonna pump. The last time was like 16-17 days. Okay, so we know that in a short time it's gonna make up for all that long time of waiting. All right. And so let's leave it at that, guys. Bitcoin had a red day mainly because of GBTC and other factors. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully there'll be more ETF buys, which should cause the price to go up. Naka Vra Orai Cti and BST. What is that called? BST. See, I mean, I should know that shit. BST. Block Square token and Block Square token. Looking pretty interesting, and Trias team is saying, hey, hold on a little bit longer. We're bringing some good stuff. We're going to bring the fire. We're going to bring the heat in March, and hopefully they do. All right, guys, if you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. I'm trying to grow this channel, and your help would be greatly appreciated. All right, thank you so much. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.